Welcome to Mac Voices. This is a talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. And folks, this is a very late July 2020 update. Yes, I'm sliding it in just under the wire because I wanted to definitely get an update in for the supporters of Mac Voices, but just also to touch base with you on the informal basis the way I do each month. It's been kind of a crazy month, a busy month, both online and off. And you would have thought that things would have slowed down because of COVID, but that's not been the case, at least for me. We've had a nice steady stream of shows, which is great. We did have a couple cancellations a couple days, but other than that, we've been able to sort of keep up with our new pattern of trying to be pretty much a daily show for you, so that you have something new coming from Mac Voices each day. And on that subject, I want to thank everybody who's written in support of that idea. The idea that we're trying to target our shows to about between 20 and 35 minutes. Yes, sometimes they run a little bit over, just because I don't want to break up a discussion right in the middle of a discussion. But it also allows me to continue doing the longer form interviews and give you complete information. You're just getting it in smaller bite-sized chunks. So thank you for the support of that idea. I really, really appreciate it. Not a lot else to say. There are a couple things I want to make sure you knew about. The MacVoices blog I restarted, and I mentioned that I believe last month, and I'm trying to not necessarily make that a daily thing by any means, but if I get a post up a week, I'm happy. I'm trying to tie it into Mac Voices as much as possible, but as long as it's reasonably well tech-oriented, it's going to find its way to the Mac Voices blog. So you want to make sure you check that out at MacVoicesBlog.com. Also, something we haven't talked about for a long time, but still going on, nothing has changed, and that's MacVoices Magazine. It's my sort of daily notebook, if you will, of tech surfing for the day. Anything that I think is important or I want to hang on to, I flip that into MacVoices Magazine, and then you can look at it on the web or on Flipboard, and it's a much, much better experience on Flipboard because that's what it's designed for. So Flipboard on your iPhone or your iPad, and you've got a really terrific magazine that is filled with information, tips, tricks, not so much news, but it's more about finding out how to use your Mac better, finding out some of the cool tools that are out there to let you do whatever it is you do. Lastly, Mac Voices Live has really become a thing. Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. on Facebook. We've again used it as a bit of an experimental platform. So we've had guests on, we've had guests and viewers and listeners on. We even had an open mic night this past month where just anybody that wanted to come on in and talk about what you talk about. If you're not able to join us though at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Tuesdays, don't worry about it. You're not missing out on anything because I take those raw files and then edit them into a couple Mac Voices shows for either the rest of that week or the following week, because I want to make sure that I do understand we have a global audience and you can't address the time zones for everyone. So one of those things, but you don't miss out on anything. But if you can join us, please do. It's a lot of fun to have you either in the Zoom room with us, sending it out to Facebook, or just in the chat, asking questions and interacting with the folks there. Last thing, I keep saying last thing, but this relates to this month's support report. I got a couple emails on this, and I want to make sure that everyone understands the way that I try to do this. And it's based on Patreon schedule. Patreon charges the patrons the first of the month, the first day of each month. That means that they have contributed for that month. So if you signed up for Patreon, say on June 12th, Patreon doesn't charge your card, and therefore you're not an official supporter until July 1st. And that's when you would get listed in the credits to the Mac Voices shows. You get listed here in the support report. And so it might seem like a little while, a bit of a lag time, but that's the way it works. PayPal is a little more immediate with notifications, but I've sort of adopted the same thing so that if you donated, in this case in July, your name won't show up until August, the August shows. It allows me to keep things a little bit straighter and a little bit easier. But I wanted to make sure you understood how that's working, so that if you do sign up early in the month and you don't see your name appearing, it's like, well, what's that bum joiner doing? Well, I'm doing exactly what I am trying to advertise doing and trying to keep it organized. So with that, let's jump over to the support report. This month, we had nobody at Platinum, but at Gold, we had David G., Tim G., and Chuck P. At Silver, we had Bobby, Chuck A., Michael D., Bruce E., Norbert F., Hal P., George R., and Daniel S. And at Bronze, we had Mac C., Clinton M., John M., Frank P., and Prop P. Thank you to everyone who supports the show, however you support it, whether you're doing a financial contribution, whether you're buying your Amazon merchandise through our links, whether you are writing iTunes reviews, and we did have an iTunes review this month. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Or if you're just telling your friends, or maybe liking us on Facebook or YouTube or Vimeo or Instagram or Twitter, all the places we publish, it all helps us get the word out, and that's the objective here. So thank you very, very much. I'm Chuck Joyner. That's the update for July. We will be back with more coming up. As always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.